Welcome to the channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more exciting stories from Reddit. Story 1. Girlfriend cheated on me. I left but she's not letting go. Pretty much what the title says, but obviously I should provide background to the situation. Okay. I've been with my ex-girlfriend, Vanessa, for the past 5 years. We met at a convention for one of our hobbies, started just talking about the hobby itself, with no other goal in mind. We started dating when she confessed that she liked me as more than a friend, and it was mutual. I just kept quiet because I didn't really want to ruin the friendship and I wasn't really expecting her to be interested in me. Dated for about 2 years steadily before we moved in together. Our families meshed well together, our friends mingled and we all became one big mixed social circle. That was a surprise because we both come from very different financial backgrounds, me being raised in poor/middle class kind of finances, Vanessa and her friends and family being really rich. Everything was great for the past 3 years, except when she cheated. Vanessa cheated on me with some random guy. I don't even honestly know why, nor do I really care to find out. I found out a month ago because I took her phone to call up a friend since mine was inoperable at the time. First thing I saw when I unlocked her phone was a message popping up about how some guy loved that ass bouncing on him the day before. I'll spare you the emotional turmoil I briefly went through. And I'll admit I just put the phone down, told her I was leaving without telling why, and I could see she was confused about me just going out like that. I just didn't want to do something I'd regret, because I did have anger issues in the past, but have mostly worked past those. She probably found out I saw that message, but since my phone was still in the apartment, there was no one way to get in touch with me. I literally just walked around the city for hours until I was so tired that I felt like falling asleep on my feet. Went over to a friend's place, stayed with them over the night and the day after I got over to our apartment and talked it out with Vanessa. I told her I wasn't going to be in a relationship with a cheater and that was that. I didn't ask for details, how it happened, who exactly the other guy was, I just wanted to go away from it all. She wasn't looking to oblige me, crying hysterically, blaming herself, hitting herself in the head because she was, and I quote, a stupid cheating C***nt, begging me not to go, that she would do anything to try and fix this. The whole thing just made me even more uncomfortable to be around her, and there was a scene in front of our apartment when our neighbors came out to see what the noise was about. I did manage to get away, but it was unnecessarily complicated with drama. She made her choice to duck someone else, I made mine to break up because I don't want to be with a cheater. I managed to take away most of my things from the apartment when she wasn't there and hoped that would be that. But if it was, I wouldn't be here now. I mentioned before Vanessa and her family are rich. She's now using her, and I presume her family's, money in not giving me a single day of some kind of reminder of her. Either I'm getting gifts sent my way at my workplace or I'm getting letters in the mail and packages. Or she just hangs out with one friend of hers somewhere where she knows I am. I have no idea how she knows, and this is making me feel paranoid because I keep thinking she might have someone following me, trying to get me to talk with her. I have tried talking with local police on the matter, but have been told in not so many words that her family would make sure nothing would be done about it. Props to the cop for being honest about it, but they could do their job instead. I want to heal. I want to move on. But she's not letting me, and I don't have enough money to just move away somewhere else. She's already blocked or ignored on every possible media I have, but strangely enough she's not trying to get to me through them anyway. Friends on the other hand are. Every friend she's got, and she has plenty, has asked me to just meet up with her, hear her out or something else like that. But I'm so tired of that. I'm tired of this kind of shit. I just want it over with. I don't want to hear her speak. I don't want to see her. It won't do me any good. So please, can anyone here help me? How do I move on from someone who won't let me and who has absolutely both the time and money to keep doing it indefinitely? Do I give her that one meeting she wants from me? Would that even help? I'm not from USA or some other first world country, so I pretty much have no legal recourse. TLDR ex-girlfriend cheated on me and I broke up with her, but she's not letting go and has the time and money to waste on trying to get me to talk to her about us, even though there is no us anymore. How to move on from someone who's not letting you do so. Update. There were tons of advice in the thread and a lot of support for the shitty situation I was in, and I want to thank you all for trying your best to help me. In the end, I set up a meeting with my ex's mother, whom I'd mentioned in one of my posts when I was replying to people about this whole thing. It was roughly a week after I'd made my previous post. She knew why we were broken up, and completely backed up my decision to break up with her daughter, seeing how much it hurt me. It meant a lot to me, and I guess I never really appreciated her mom being so friendly with me while we were together. I explained to her what had been going on since the breakup. She only knew that the ex was trying to get back together with me, but she didn't know about her showing up at any place I went out, her friends badgering me, or the letters and gifts being sent my way constantly. I came close to tearing up because of how much support she showed me at the time. At one point she even hugged me and kissed the top of my kid like I was a little kid again. I felt both embarrassed and grateful. I just wanted space and time to heal from this shit, and I think she understood as much. All in all, after we got that out in the open, she promised me she would get her daughter back into line, to leave me alone and stop harassing me. We talked a bit some more after that, but went our own ways soon after. The ex's harassment continued for a day or two and then it completely stopped. No messages, no calls, no sudden appearances where I was hanging out or anything. 3 weeks out and nothing from her so far. It's been bliss. It's like this huge weight just rolled straight off me. It's easier to breathe and I'm not even looking at the door of some place I'm hanging out at to see if it's the ex or one of her friends. I didn't even notice that myself. My friends were the ones who brought it up to me. So yeah, this is 1,000 times better than what it was like before. I did talk with my ex's mom one more time over the phone and I thanked her for whatever she did with her daughter, and she was saying it was the least she could do. Near the end of the conversation, she said it would probably be for the best if we didn't speak anymore. It would let me fully move on from this, but that she was sorry it had come to this and that they, her and her husband, wouldn't see me coming over for Christmas. We said our goodbyes and that was that. So that's it, the harassment stopped. I'm feeling great and life's really looking better nowadays. One more time, thank you all guys and gals for trying to help me out from the shit pile I found myself in. TLDR met up with ex's mom, told her about what was going on. She got the ex to stop and haven't heard anything from the ex since 3 weeks ago, and life is good. Story 2. Just found out my wife has been cheating on me for the past year. I just found out my wife has been cheating on me for the past year. I've been suspecting her of something for a few months now because she's been telling weird little white lies. She's been super protective of her phone and even when have been having says the past year something just feels off. Well, I caught her. Her sister logged into Facebook Messenger in my phone and forgot to log out. I went through their messages and what I found disgusted me. Luckily no pictures, but the way she was talking about these guys was so disgusting to me. And it's not even just one guy. From what I could see from the messages with her sister over the past year, she's had says with at least 3 or 4 other guys. I suspect it's more though, and one of them she was seeing regularly for 3 months while I was gone but apparently doesn't talk to him anymore. Most recently she had says with some dude at a hotel about 2 weeks ago. I called one of my good friends and he said I should try and gather my emotions and confront her once I'm ready and work through it, but I don't know if I can. When I look at her I just feel empty. When she touches me and hugs me I feel an anger and resentment deep down inside. I literally just feel numb. She was my first serious relationship and we have been together for 3 years and I don't think I can do it anymore. I feel trapped in my own house. I gathered tons of screenshots and saved them somewhere she would never find them before I logged out of her sister's account. Update. So as the title states, my wife was cheating on me for the past year, at least that I know of. I was going to wait until October to confront her because she is a key witness in a court case I have coming up, but it was literally eating me alive. I had called my dad and talked to him about it and he brought up a good point. She had made a written statement under oath about what had happened already. So upon realizing that, I decided it was finally time to confront her. It had only been a week since I had found out that I decided to confront her, but it was honestly one of the most uncomfortable weeks of my life. Every time I looked at her I felt angry, every smile I made towards her was forced and faked. Going to bed at night with her made me feel cold and empty, and worst of all, having sex with her made me feel completely and utterly disgusted with myself. I had only done it like once or twice and then made an excuse every single time after that to not have sex with her. I was literally dying on the inside. The morning of the day I confronted her, she actually accused me of cheating on her, and all I could do was look at her and burst out into a fit of hysterical laughter because of how ironic the situation was. It did nothing to help my case, but I left my house for a good 45 minutes to make some phone calls. That's when I called my father and decided now was the time. After calling my father, I had decided to contact my wife's sister because back in October she had tried to get a hold of me about something important she had to tell me about my wife. Back then I had thought it was just some dumb bullshit, because she's a notorious liar and thief, but after what I had seen I had thought that perhaps it was genuine. After contacting her, she actually warned my wife. So my wife called me and I told her I would be home shortly to confront her. I pulled up into my driveway, slipped an audio record into my pocket and turned video recording on my phone and put that into my breast pocket, then walked inside to confront her. I was cool, calm and collected, but on the inside I had no idea what to expect. This woman that I had been with for years had turned into a completely different person in the past 6 months. I had confronted her by saying, "How long have you been cheating on me? How many people have you cheated on me with, and why did you do it?" She tried playing dumb at first, but then I started quoting things she said in messages to her sister, and naming off some of the guys she had cheated on me with, and her mood instantly changed and I saw that tears started to well up in her eyes. I asked her again and she refused to answer until I told her how I found it out, so I told her about how I had went through her and her sister's messages. She instantly started crying and I still don't believe half the things she told me. She said it had only been with 2 guys, but the messages I saw suggest it has at least been 3 or 4 different men. She also said she had not cheated on me since March, which I called her bullshit on because there was a message about how she met up with a guy at a hotel literally days before my birthday. Her reasoning for doing it was probably one of the worst excuses I have ever heard. She told me she was afraid of moving so far from home and did it out of weakness, and her second reason was because she had not been with someone easily prior to me. I told her those were the dumbest excuses I ever heard and that we would be getting a divorce, and she broke down and started bawling her eyes out and begging me to stay and that she couldn't lose me. I didn't cry, I didn't yell at her, I didn't call her any names, I just stared at her as she cried, absolutely disgusted with the woman she had become. I explained to her that there was nothing she could do, we were going to be getting a divorce, and that I would let her stay at my house for 1 to 2 months while she saved money to move. That lasted for about 10 days, then I told her she needed to leave because I couldn't stand the sight of her anymore, and she went to her friend's house. The separation was cordial at first, but then she started doing things that absolutely pissed me off. She would call my phone late into the night when she would know I would be sleeping to wake me up. She ended up developing this elaborate story that painted me as the bad guy, saying that I only married her to get extra money and this was my plan all along, to marry her and divorce her once she was useless to me. She showed up one time at 1 in the morning to fetch her things when I had been offering to bring her things to her all damn day. After that incident I changed all the locks on the house. But what pissed me off the most was she demanded me to sign over one of my 2 cars in a separations agreement, both of which I had worked extremely hard to pay cash for. She insisted she needed a car to survive, that she was entitled to a car since I had originally bought it for her, that she deserved the car even though I had paid for everything the past year of the relationship, and that she wasn't going to do any paperwork without me giving her the car. Out of anger I let it drag on for a few weeks before speaking with someone about it. He explained to me that losing this $2,500 car would be worth it in the long run, especially since I have a sizable chunk of equity in my house that she isn't interested in, and she was also willing to waive all rights to alimony and post-separation support. The only reason I didn't want to sign the car over, even though it would be the financially responsible thing to do considering how much she was willing to lose for it, was because I had too much emotion and anger into it and I had to take the anger out. I decided his advice was right, and now we have an appointment in a few weeks to sign the separations agreement. All she is getting from me is a car and I'm getting everything else. Since leaving her I've felt a lot of different emotions. I've been extremely angry and lonely, however, oddly enough I haven't missed her at all and haven't even thought about any of the good times we had the month and a half we have been apart. My house is an absolute mess and I've been too unmotivated to clean it more than 20 minutes at a time. I spend a lot of my free time just laying in bed staring at the ceiling and walls. I got rid of all of our cats and dogs. However, for the first time in a very long time I feel free again, like I can do whatever I want. Finding out she was cheating on me was just the icing on the cake. She had become verbally abusive, got into the habit of coming home drunk multiple times a week and putting her hands on me when she was drunk, hadn't helped me pay for anything for nearly a year, and became extremely irresponsible and was constantly breaking things, losing things, and getting tickets that I had to pay for. So honestly, this is for the best. I'm not sure what will happen now or what I will do. Since leaving her I've hooked up with multiple women I didn't even know for fun. One of them likes me a lot now and she's a very nice and genuine girl, but I have no idea what to do. Went to clubs and bars for the first time, reconnected with old friends and have attempted to get my life back on track. I don't plan to get married again for a very long time if ever. I got married too young and I've done so much growing up this year from all I've been through. I sometimes feel disconnected from my peers and I don't even want a committed long-term relationship for a while either. I made an appointment to see a counselor/therapist at the end of this month cause not only am I dealing with a divorce but I have heaps of other things going on in my life too. But I'm not sure if I need it. Edit, literally laughing at all the people that are mad at me for getting rid of my pets. I rehomed them all to other families. Stop assuming I killed them, psychos. I made an adult decision and realized I wasn't in a position to care for them any longer. After cutting things off with my wife I no longer had the motivation, plus I had 4 large dogs and 2 cats which was too much for one person especially with as much as I work. And to add on she agreed to take one of the dogs and both cats then randomly called me one day saying she wasn't taking them anymore, thus dumping all the responsibility on me. TLDR, confronted my cheating wife, getting a divorce, learning how to be single again. Story 3. She, F23, cheated. I, M24, disappeared from her life without a word. Does that make me an a-hole? Breakups. My girlfriend of 1 year recently cheated on me with an ex-boyfriend. A friend of hers secretly came forward and showed me all the evidence. It was a shitty situation. Instead of dumping her the normal way, I just disappeared. This was easy to do because I was traveling quite a bit at the time and ended up moving to a different area shortly after finding out about the cheating. I deleted her from Facebook, and ignored all of her texts, voicemails, emails, etc. I went completely dark. It's been 3 months since and she still tries to contact me. She knows why I dumped her and has attempted to apologize numerous times. She regularly sends me lengthy apologies, yet I never reply. I guess I feel like an a-hole. I think closure's overrated but in this case, I'm feeling like a dick. She's convinced all of her friends that I'm still hers and that we're going to get back together. Will she eventually get the hint and duck off or do I need to actually tell her we're done? TLDR, girlfriend cheated, I disappeared, she still tries to contact me to apologize and thinks we're getting back together in the future. What do I do? Am I an a-hole? Update. I promised you guys an update if something significant happened, so here I am. This feels like a Jerry Springer show. I'm now in a relationship with her friend. It's been 3 months since the breakup and I'm ready to date again. Her friend and I have been in regular contact ever since she told me about my girlfriend cheating and it's made us really close friends. She wanted to do something for my birthday, which was this past Thursday, so we spent the day doing a bunch of date-like things, movie, dinner, shopping. At the end of the night, we went back to my place and she told me everything. Apparently, she's had feelings for me since the day we met but she wanted to be respectful of my relationship, which is why she waited until my girlfriend and I broke up. When she found out my girlfriend was cheating on me, she saw her chance, so she broke the news to me in the hopes that I'd end the relationship. Mission accomplished. Did she have an ulterior motive? Obviously. But I'm not upset about it. My ex was a liar and a cheater. I can't fault her friend for telling me the truth and secretly hoping we'd get together. We get along very well. She's pretty, I love her personality and she's extremely sweet. I really like her, so now we're in a relationship. Anyway, she ended up staying the night at my place, got the best birthday present. Some wild birthday says, and things are great. I'm actually thankful my ex ripped my heart out and cheated on me. I guess things happen for a reason. Obviously, my ex found out we're dating and she's extremely pissed off. She goes from sending me texts that say, I ducking hate you, to, I'm sorry, baby, I love you, we can still fix this. I'm sticking with no contact. I'm living in a new place, got a new girlfriend, new friends, life is good. TLDR, I'm dating her friend. Ex found out and is extremely pissed off and still trying to get us back together. I'm sticking with no contact.